we will be. And we're off, I think. Yes, indeed, I do believe that we are alive. Yes, and the Hake report just got started. I think. What's up, guys? It is 9:03 a.m. U.S. Pacific Standard Time here in Los Angeles. And it is I already said 9:03. It's Friday, January 12th, 2024 AD. A little thrown off. I'm just getting used to this newfangled thingamajigger. Come on, connect. Rumble with the Hake. What in the world? It's in beta mode. Okay, so I'm live on YouTube, DLive. Rumble is toggled. It's toggled. But I did the beta mode thing with the static thing. And I want to make sure that it's going. It started a thing. It started it. Do I have to go into the live area and start it going? I don't think so. Anyway, whatever. In the world. What are we going to talk about today, guys? Well, we're going to have a loosey-goosey Friday show if you haven't caught on already. You can call in 1-888-775-3773. Okay, I see the rumble going. Yeah. Nice. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that stuff was working right, guys. This is my first time trying a different thing. Hopefully I will not have any problems, right? Right? We're trying new things to make sure that we do not have problems. Man, I don't know how hard that was to listen to just now, that opening intro. What are we going to talk about other than the Loosey Goosey Friday show stuff? Guns. I never got to the guns thing. Maybe a little bit of news and your calls. You can call in 1-888-775-3773. But anyway, guys, it's Friday, and let's get right on with the show!
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the AJ Gallardo original theme song, and I know that you will be enjoying Fog Friday as well as Frog Eyes Friday. So cool.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
So, how you guys doing? I'm fine. I am wearing a reminder. Monday is that fake, racist, satanic, fake holiday from hell. No, not Kwanzaa. MLK Day. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, right? I think it is. And on all these black kiss-up holidays, fake holidays, satanic kiss-up days, mama spirit days, the national parks are available for free because only white people go to the national parks, and we need affirmative action to get blacks and POCs to go to the national parks. Asians go too. They take advantage. And so You can watch the Hake Report on Monday because I will have the Hake Report, and I will have a co-host with me, I believe. Big Bump will be joining me. But I'm wearing my National Parks t-shirt. It says REI, Recreational Equipment Communist Store, and NPS, National Park Service. I suspect that these national parks things are land grabs by the feds. I'm not so sure that's such a good thing. But I am told that Teddy Theodore Roosevelt was a great president, and he might have started some of that national park stuff. So that's cool. They can actually stay out of the parks, TBH, to be honest. There's Misty, who's not always that nice. They just ruin it. Oh, yeah, they play their music. I remember listening to the American Anchor Baby, and he's talking about how the blacks, I think he's the one who said it, play their music when they're outdoors. And white people like their peace and quiet. But Maze said whites are allowed too. And get drunk too. So whatever. But yeah, it's a brown shirt. Not 100% cotton, unfortunately. But enjoy MLK Day with Hake on the Hake Report with Big Bump. Yes. Although it's a so-called national holiday, we will be live on the Hake Report, on Jesse Lee Peterson Show before that. After that, it was going to be Joel Friday TV, I believe. Unless Joel Friday is taking MLK Day off. I doubt it. And, of course, American Anchor Baby. Sweet. All right, so let's get to this. Oh, you know what? There were some missed Super Chats that I wanted to get to. Let me read these Super Chats that I was remiss in not reading yesterday. Harmony bought a coffee yesterday, saying, thanks, Hake, for reading my coffee on JLP today, meaning yesterday. You did a good job. 070707, which lowercase o, letter O, and a numeral 7, number 7, makes it look like it's a salute for the boomers I'm explaining. Nice, thank you, Harmony. I don't remember which one that was. That would have been. And he gets so many coffees. Super chats, support, very nice. I don't remember which one it was, but thank you, Harmony. Appreciate it. By the way, someone, Gregatron bought a Streamlabs saying, hey, you want to hear something funny? YouTube Summary told me that both David Meece, and Greg Henderson were in my top 5 artists of 2023. Wow. David Meece, if you don't know who David Meece is, he is a Christian singer from the 80s and 70s and 90s. Christian singer. Talented, by the way. And I was playing him apparently earlier in 2023. I don't even remember when it was. Probably must have been quite early in 2023. That was cool. Also, Cotton Mill by Greg Henderson was in my top 5 tracks, says Gregatron. Nice. We are bringing culture to the blacks. Gregatron, I believe, is black. Maze leaves us confused about whether we, C-Sal, white people like C-Sal and I, confused over whether we can judge who's black and who's not. Thanks, Hake and Nick, for putting me on to some good music. Right on. Yeah, Greg Henderson shared some music with us. I think he's a fellow fan and listener of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. That's cool. Thank you, Gregatron. Someone bought a coffee. James, do you agree with the idea that when hiring someone for a job, you should hire the best qualified person? I heard Jesse in an interview say that people shouldn't have the mindset of I'm going to hire a woman, man, person of a certain race, etc., but rather they should have the best qualified person. You start with a pool of applicants. This is kind of a long coffee. Again, Mr. Someone or Ms. Someone. And only disqualify someone if they don't meet the qualifications as outlined in the posting for the job, i.e. 2 years relevant experience, education, etc. I asked because yesterday you said just let the whites run the country, which suggests, I could be wrong, that if two candidates being considered for a job with similar names, the leg up would be given to the white, which goes against the notion of not taking race into consideration. If you're against hiring someone in part because they're black, how could you be okay with disqualifying them based on it? What a mess. What a mess. You're not very bright, are you, Mr. Someone? Or Ms. Someone? Whites started the country, why can't they run their own country? And in general, the whites are the ones who are the qualified ones. What a mess. And then it goes beyond that because there's risk assessment. When you have a black or a gay or a woman, very often they have this chip on their shoulder, as they call it. People call it chip on their shoulder. And, Hake, Coffee Giver has your number. It says intellectual username. Very often they have a chip on their shoulder. They're into the black thing. They're into the woman thing. They're into the gay thing. And they're liable to sue you for discrimination because we have these fake, phony anti-discrimination laws. Anti-discrimination laws. And these POCs are now out competing the whites. They are getting that special treatment, begging for that special treatment. So, you're a mess, someone. Do you even own a business? Are you even a boss yourself? The world? What are you bringing this stuff up for? Remind me of the Pharisees trying to catch Jesus in stuff. Those intellectual Pharisees trying to catch Jesus in with these trick questions. They come at JLP with this stuff, trying to come at me through JLP, or come at JLP through me with this stuff. But thank you for your coffee. You don't make sense. You don't know what you're talking about. And you're not a logical man or woman. I don't even know what crip walking is. Somebody said that Hake crip walks. I disavow it just for this. Just preemptively, because I don't even know what it means. All right, here we go. Now let's dive into the guns. I think that's it for the super chats. Yes. Okay. What do you think about... What do you think about ARs for every black man? Free ARs for every black man. I saw this on X. Jeff Charles. He's been a guest on Hake's show a number of times, Jeff Charles. He's black. He's one of those black conservatives. I laugh because, these black conservatives still believe in the racism thing. And they think that they're the victims of the racism thing. Breaking! He's an awful pundit, by the way, he says. Jeff Charles. Sort of a Gen X type of a guy, I think. Maybe my age. Now, this is a fake news headline, but he posts stuff along the lines of, what is that one website? The Onion? Or the better website nowadays is the Babylon Bee. Sort of a little bit of a rhino outlet, the Babylon Bee, but it's more conservative and more Christian than the Onion, which is just off the deep end liberal and lame nowadays, I think. But the Onion used to come up with funny headlines that were fake. So that's what Jeff Charles is trying to get into on his own thing. Breaking: progressives launch a campaign to buy every black man an AR-15 to scare Republicans into supporting so-called gun control. Quote, by making sure every black man has a rifle. Can you find a black man? We can finally get the GOP, Grand Old Party, Republicans, to support universal background checks, gun buybacks, and gun confiscation. And I said, I think it should be AKs. Wouldn't it make more sense to give the blacks an AK? Nobody understands how to use an AR. You give them this thing. What do I do with this? What's this do? What's that do? You have to keep this clean? I have to maintain it? In the world, give me an AK. You can run it through the mud and it'll still work. Right? And I say it's more black people's style. They can't do it. They can't handle an AR. Some of them can. It requires less technical discipline. I quote tweeted him too. It requires less technical discipline. They don't have discipline. Some of them are brilliant. Like that one guy who attacked his mother with a hammer, according to his story. He was in charge of HUD under Trump. Solid guy. He's been on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. The doctor guy who separated two conjoined twins. He might be able to handle an AR. Ben Carson, the Dr. Ben Carson. That's right. Big Bump, my co-host's daddy, we jokingly say. Didn't the military give AKs to every Iraqi household? I don't know if that's true. But I thought that I heard that the U.S. military was giving Iraqi households in hot areas in Iraq, or maybe it was Afghanistan or something, AKs that they can protect themselves from the Muslim terrorists or whatever. Brother Sonny says, I can take one apart and put it back together blindfolded. Which one, AK or AR? Nice. With my AK, I'm still the thug that you love to hate. So, that's Jeff Charles trying to troll the whites and the whatever. Nice. An AK, okay, right on, Brother Sonny, that's cool. So isn't that a nice idea? No, it's not quite a nice idea. It shouldn't be free, you gotta earn it, you gotta buy it yourself. But I don't agree with all these hoops that people have to jump through to get a gun. I'm shaking my head. Jeff Charles. I've debated him a number of times. Jeff on the right. Yeah, Jeff on the right. That's right. That's his username on X, formerly known as Twitter. Do you think Dr. Ben Carson can handle an AR? I think so. It'd be a sight to see. He's so gentle and soft-spoken and kind. And he was the head of HUD, Housing and Urban Development, under Trump. And he and Trump traded pot shots against each other. But when he talked to Trump, he's like, Trump really listens. At the end of it all, Trump really listens. People think, oh, Trump is arrogant. He doesn't listen to anybody. Yes, he does. He may not heed your advice. He may still think for himself. But when he's talking to you, he's listening. Better than Hake sometimes, right? Hake gets distracted. Speaking of the gun control mess, this Lakota Man and the POCs, Lakota Man 1. I saw this post on X that they're doing, you know how they're doing book bans in Florida? He shares this headline from I don't know who, I don't know what outlet. Molly Sprayregan. Molly Sprayregan. A journalist, so-called journalist, freelance journalist covering a range of LGBTQ plus issues from politics to healthcare to business. Associate editor for Equally Wed. I think that's a reference to his fake idea of marriage equality. So I guess that might be the outlet of that shared this headline. And Lakota Man is a user on X, Twitter, far-left liberal, American Indian. Lakota is a tribe of the Indians. He shares this screenshot that reads, School district bans the dictionary to comply with Ron DeSantis' book ban law. Dictionaries contain words that potentially violate the law's broad language. Writes this broad Molly Sprayregan. Journalist. Probably not a Christian is my guess. Especially if she's a writer for Equally Wed, Modern LGBTQ plus Weddings, LGBTQ inclusive prose. Ugh. Doesn't look very Christian. So, but isn't that funny? Ah ha ha. Ron DeSantis and the Republicans down in Florida doing these book bans to protect the children from the LGBTIQ propaganda in schools, school libraries, as if that's going to protect the children from them. Well, that's fine enough. Doing their part. They should do that, in my opinion. Because they shouldn't allow vulgar, vile stuff in the public. It's not good. It should be, we should ban, I think that pornography should be off. Somebody made the point that you're not allowed to do, what is that thing where they get paid? Prostitution. For the S word, sex. You're not allowed to do prostitution, but if you do pornography, which is the same thing, but with video recorded for all to see, then all of a sudden it's legal? No. Like if you're creating that evil stuff, right? Or degenerate stuff. Vulgar, perverted stuff? Whatever. So yeah, and I agree, we should ban the dictionary maybe. Some of these dictionaries are liberal. They're fake news. Very fake news. I've said for a long time now the dictionary is fake news. But anyway, you can picture a school district. Librarians nowadays are liberals. They're bringing in these gay drag queens, so-called males dressed up as women and / demons to read to children. And it's bad. It's bad. So the librarians in the schools, the school teachers, we've seen that. Libs of TikTok has covered it, and many other people have covered it. And you guys yourselves have known firsthand, some of you. Some of my teachers, even in the 90s, they were liberals. Not so much, but some of them were. Communists. Che Guevara posters. Thought FDR was the best president. The communist. So Lakota Man posts, so Florida has banned the dictionary. And I don't know what site he's referencing, what source, bro? But it's okay if you want to gun someone down with your unregistered, unlicensed firearm, he says. Which is already happening from across the United States. It's already happening in the world. So this Lakota man, so-called man, is on a mission. Oglala Lakota, enrolled at Pine Ridge, South Dakota. The earth sings her revolution. Sounds like a communist buzzword, revolution. She calls brave men and women to her defense. He's out of Los Angeles. 500,000 followers he has on X. His pinned tweet is about this assault weapons ban. When President Clinton, as in Bill Clinton, this was from May of 2022, banned assault rifles in 1994, he claims mass shootings dropped by 43%. After Republicans let the ban expire in 2004, they increased by 243%. Please don't tell me bans don't work because I don't want to hear it. And you got 500,000 likes on that trash tweet promoting violating the Second Amendment in the name of supposed so-called mass shootings. And I have no idea the truth or falsehood of that information that he's spouting off, and I don't even care, because that's not the solution. This Lakota so-called man has a mama spirit. He's all into being an Indian, American Indian. Lakota tribe, I guess. I think that's a tribe. And he's all into violating the Second Amendment. I wonder what prompted him to get like that. Heavyset man, by the way. And he's not that much darker than me. He can't be full-blown Indian, American Indian. He looks part white or part white Hispanic, unless he lightened himself. Doesn't look like it, though. So did the so-called assault weapons ban, is that what brought down the crime? Oh, yeah, I'm American Indian, too. That's true. He's fat, Hake. Okay, yeah, I said heavy set. True. By the way, so that's Lakota Man is promoting violating the gun rights, and people responding to him on that. Bans don't work. The problem are people, not the weapons. That's right. It's mental illness, this person says, which is to say anger. Because anger leads to mental illness, and it also leads to violence, unjustified violence, right? And these people are pushing anger. That's all they push is anger. And emotions. This fake idea of love is love. The LGBTQ agenda, emotional love. And some of those people are some of the most violent. The lesbians, they're the most DV committing people per capita. DV, so-called domestic violence, when they're living together, all being S-word perverted with each other, and they hit each other more. The lesbians. One of the most famous lesbians went to jail, and her so-called wife. You know, Brittany Griner, her first so-called wife. They both went to jail because there was no man to arrest, so you just arrest both the butches. Shout out to the ladies. And the not-so-ladylike lesbian ladies. And Myth Informed says it's about soft on crime policies, my Lakota dude. 94 crime bill was tough. DAs don't prosecute anymore. Oh, by the way, destruction of the family they don't mention. Oh, show 3B gun ban replies. Destruction of the family, that's a liberal thing. A whole lot of these people committing the mass murders are, their fathers haven't seen them in years. They shoot or kill their mother or grandmother and then go shoot the schools. Blacks are committing most of the mass shootings, by the way, by far. And we know their situation is a mess. Parents not married. Fathers act like emotional women. Mothers encouraged to be angry, both as females, shout out to the females, and as blacks, shout out to the blacks. These people talk about the data. I ran the raw data, says D. Russo, he/him, for just school shootings during/after the assault weapons ban. It's dire. Well, school shootings became a copycat crime that started especially in 1999. The party line. Copycat crime. Media promotes it because they love it. They lick their chops when there's a mass shooting. They love it. 1999, what was that one? Colorado, Columbine. The Trench Coat Mafia. I also discovered a massive uptick in school shootings since Sandy Hook. That one was also massively promoted. You're spreading the satanic idea among the people, the liberal mainstream media. Duh! Right? Or am I wrong? I think I'm right. Lakota Man, absolutely. So that's not wise. I was going to say dumb, but I don't want to say that too much in front of the kids who do watch Hake. Definitely watch Hake. Spoiler alert, shares an Instagram post from Lakota_man. Do something with your life that will make a mediocre white man angry. You can check that one off your list, Lakota Man, 13 hours ago. Because you got this mediocre white man angry at you. You got 10,000 likes on that thing. I got to get busy on my IG. I have to share this with you guys. Thank you for the find spoiler alert. I'm copying it into the folder, hopefully. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, you might or might not see it. Screenshot. And it's like this button thing. Do something with your life. Rise above their mediocrity and fragility and self-loathing hate. Whoa. What do you mean by that self-loathing hate? Aren't you fat? Maybe he's overcoming it. Maybe he's overcoming it. Because a lot of people get fat. Speaking of self-loathing, that's not taking care of yourself. Nice find, spoiler alert. He's trying to, so wait a minute, he's trying to spread anger. Wait a minute. That's kind of like trying to get fit out of revenge after you have a nasty breakup. That's not the right spirit to have. And it's all pink. What are you doing with posting pink stuff, Lakota Man? Maybe it's desert pink, like Hake has desert pink. Is this a pin we can buy? Whoa. Just being a woman is enough. I fulfilled that 50 plus years ago just by being born. Laughing face emoji with tears coming out. Posted Tina Renedge. Don't harass her, guys. Unless it's Brandon M, who I don't know if he catches my Hake show anymore. Oh, it might be Magenta, says username. More like Magenta. Get fatter, not fitter. Angry people try to make other people angry. Is that not the case? Or they revel in other people getting angry. Even I don't feel angry at all. I just enjoy seeing them angry. That's a lie. Terrible lie. Spreading hell. But that's a very attractive pin, by the way. It's pretty cool. Kind of stylish. Has this rim around the edge. Sweet. Whitey isn't angry, sir. So, hat tip to Lakota Man. Thank you for the content. I'm shaking my head at that mess. Wow. It's a stupid pin, Hake. Okay, you can call in 1-888-775-3773. Scott Adams. Moving on, let's hear some based content, shall we? Scott Adams sparked an interesting conversation. And I don't know if I even have this in here. Okay, I think I'd have. 9A. Scott Adams posted this, and this was days ago. This was almost 2 weeks ago. Are white people in America the only demographic in which men and women are on opposite sides on average, politically? Huh, interesting question, Scott Adams. Did you know that? He's asking the question, but white men and white women are on opposite sides politically. White men, on average, majority, Republican voting. Okay? Republican voting. Doesn't mean that they're conservative. It just means that they vote for Republicans. White women, on average, especially nowadays, because they're not married, not sensible, they're edu-mommificated, they vote Democrat. Majority. It's a slim majority. but it is a majority, as I understand it. And then all the rest of the races, so-called races and ethnicities and minorities, all the rest of them, majority liberal. But this Raul Davis, CEO, branding exec something, Raul, R-A-O-U-L, Davis, says, no, the Latino community is pretty split as well in terms of who they vote for. It's for whom they vote. Whom. Now, Asians in plaques tend to vehemently disagree with each other on many issues, but end up usually voting for Prez the same way. But local, not so much. Huckabee got 43% of the black vote. If you go to 9B, I'll read this whole post. He's going on and on and on, but he says no. Raul, the answer is yes, and I'll tell you why in a second. He's like, Huckabee got 43% of the black vote when he ran for governor in Arkansas. Well, good for Huckabee. Wait, which Huckabee? The woman, Sarah Huckabee? Or Mike Huckabee, the daddy? And so Scott Adams asks, do Latino men, because Scott Adams, a white man, a sensible man, gets right to the point. Do Latino men vote Republican on average? And then all of a sudden, Raul goes from talking about the Latino community being split to Latino is a false demographic to lump together. Mexicans and Cubans have as much in common as Iran, and UAE, United Arab Emirates, does. But to answer your question, do Latino men vote Republican on average? In 2022, I believe 42% of Latino men voted for Republicans versus 32% of Latinas, Latin-A's. So both voted majority not Republican. So you did not answer the question. You just gave a wordy answer. And the answer is no. Latinos are not majority conservative or Republican anyway. They're excessively liberal. Isn't that interesting? He asks a simple question, and he gets these long, wordy, intellectual answers. And I think Raul Davis is a relatively conservative guy, by the way. I think he's a sensible man. But his answers are not sensible. I grade sensibility on a curve. All of a sudden he wants to say Latino is a false demographic. You can't really compare us because we're so different. The same thing with the whites. Because they're trying to call Arabs whites and Jewish people whites and Hispanics whites and Italians and Irish whites. What a mess. Raul Davis. But I found that interesting because he didn't answer the question, and he just gave these long answer that did not answer the question. I mean, 42% voted Republican in 2022, according to him. It's not that bad. It beats like 10%, 5% among the blacks. Black men, maybe 10% vote right. And then black women, maybe 5% or 2% vote correctly. Terrible. And Raul Davis, R-A-O-U-L, looks like a Hispanic guy to me. Maybe part black, I'm not sure, I don't know. Interesting last name, Davis. But whites, men, women, Latinos, and voting. Thank you, Scott Adams. Thank you, Scott Adams. I saw this other post. I saw this on American Anchor Baby, by the way, and then I will get to your calls. 10A. I don't have the clip of this. American Anchor Baby played a clip of it this week. And I meant to get to it like the 30th. The 30th? No, last week, I guess. Oh, yeah, but I was sick. Okay. Colin Rugg says he shares this footage that you may have seen on American Anchor Baby. Resurfaced footage shows secretaries of state who all happen to look the exact same, he says, conspiring together about future elections. And he states, middle-aged, liberal white women are the biggest threat to democracy in America, he claims. Middle-aged, liberal white women. And so he talks about this Zoom call that American Anchor Baby played a bit of it, I think yesterday or 2 days ago. October of 2021 included Colorado Secretary of State Jenna Griswold, Connecticut Secretary of State Denise Merrill, Michigan so-called Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, and that Maine woman, M-A-I-N-E, Secretary of State Sheena Bellows. Shenna Bellows? The women specifically discussed the biggest threats to democracy. Ironically, they themselves were the biggest threats to democracy. And you may understand why this is a topic, because this Shenna Bellows woman of Maine is the Secretary of State who tried to keep, or is keeping, trying to keep, whatever, Trump off of the ballot because he did insurrection. Go to number 2. These are all the women. And 3, all the women. It's so phony when these people say, oh, liberal white women are the worst. Please. I get that there are most of the countries so-called white, and probably these are not even normal whites, by the way. But how are they becoming secretaries of state? And so they control the elections, in manners of speaking. How are you going to say liberal white women are the worst? I get that there's a lot of them, because there's a lot of whites, and so there's a lot of liberals whom are white, or who are white, and they are women. But they're not as bad as the blacks, or the Hispanics, or the Asians. I think that white women, correct me if I'm wrong, tell me if I'm right or wrong. Nick, the American Anchor Baby, showed voter maps from 2016, and if only white women voted, we would still get Trump. See, white women are sensible sometimes. They do sometimes vote majority for what's right. Slim majority, maybe, but it's still. Colin Ruggs. And he wouldn't say that if it was black women, or the liberal black women are the worst. You know, he's only saying it because it's white, I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm projecting. I'm assuming. But I think white women vote better than all the POC men. Did you know that? I think. Could be wrong. Maybe it's marginal. Better by meaning less worse. But to his point, show 10D. I saw this on my flight home from San Francisco. From Oakland, by way of San Francisco, anyway. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't call it Oakland. California Secretary of State keeps Trump on the primary ballot. Shirley Weber. Look at this woman. This rough-looking woman. Well, you know, I almost started to say mildly, but, you know, hey. Even he's having a hard time looking at her, this man interviewing her. No, I'm kidding. This is a screenshot. No, I'm looking at my airplane seat. The back of the seat has the news, and I want to watch CNN. And so I'm watching this, and Shirley Weber is the black female so-called Secretary of State, and she's keeping Trump on her ballot. She said, oh, this other woman who did it in Maine, she may have different rules from me. So, I don't know. I can't do that, though. I can't keep Trump off the ballot. So, that's Tyler Perry, says Big Mitch 909. To Colin Rugg's point, or whatever that guy's name was, this black woman did the right thing, even though she's a demon rat, and that Maine gal had no shame. Normally, it's the black women who have no shame. They just shamelessly do evil stuff, like that woman who's trying to charge Trump for get him not to be able to do business in New York and charge him for fraud or something like dumb like that. Suing him, fraud lawsuit in New York. Anyway, that's just a bunch of nonsense that I thought I would share. Kind of amusing. Ooh, liberal white women are the worst. Get out of here. Anyway, I got to get to Michael in Canada, who's on the line. Been on hold for quite some time. Michael, thank you for calling, man. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you.
The white women aren't the worst. The black women are because they call themselves queen.
Yeah.
And that's a hell of a lie. Oh, sorry. That's a lie.
Right. It's a terrible lie.
Yes. Hey, I'm your French-Canadian dad beater. So you
Dad
know
beater. Dad beater. That's right. He beat his dad a couple of calls ago. He recounted. It's good to hear from you, man. Happy New Year.
Yeah, you too, man. I love your show. I love your show, man.
Appreciate it.
One of the best. I had a question for you. Since I'm from a socialist country, I want to know what's your definition of socialism.
My definition of socialism is
like a
meddling,
definition,
meddling, mama spirit, micromanaging.
No, not like that, but how do you think it's working?
Oh, how do I think that socialism is working?
Yeah.
It's not working well because when you micromanage people, you breed corruption because you slant how they act. They don't act. They act for the free stuff and the spoiling and the subsidies rather than for what's right.
Yeah, but can I tell you what's socialism?
Yeah, go for it, please.
And I don't think it's a good thing.
Okay.
But I just want you to know what it is.
Please, yes.
So I'm from Quebec, Canada. We are the most socialist part of Canada, for sure,
wow.
even in North America. So how it's work is that the government became your assurance. So every time, every social thing that exists, the government runs it. For example, like in 6 years or 7 years ago, Justin Trudeau legalized marijuana. But pot.
Yeah.
But there's one thing. Since the government controls everything, everywhere else in Canada, you can have a business and sell pot from a private perspective. But here in Quebec, nobody asked. And the government took it out. So they're the one who selling pot. And if you want to sell pot, you're going to be arrested because you're not working for the government.
Wow.
So everything is running by the government. I don't know about the U.S., but every time I get my paycheck,
yep,
the government take like 24% of that, even before I had the cash. So it's not me giving it to them. It's them taking it from me. So maybe I'm paid $30 an hour. So my paycheck without taxation is like $1,000 or so, like $1,200 or so.
Okay.
But since the government is your assurance, that meaning free healthcare,
yeah,
free stuff, free free stuff, free
so-called.
this and
Yep.
that, they take it from you. So my paycheck is like $700. And you can do nothing about it because they give you free stuff, which is not free because I pay for it, and it's really, really bad.
Yeah.
It was a good thing at the beginning. It was from good intention because we were a small place, we were not a lot, and everything was working, we can say fine. But now we are too much people here, and there's a lot of immigration.
Yeah.
And now everything is doomed. Like the government, like right now, the Prime Minister of Quebec is a businessman. He know about money. He know how to. He stopped working at 32.
Wow.
And so this man have a lot of assets in different companies. But he received the money from the taxpayer every week.
Yeah.
This guy have made promise. His promise were never kept. He did a lot of things, but nothing what he was supposed to do. So what happening there is that if people are corrupt, they will take all the tax money payer and they will put it in their interest. So this man he laughed at us. He knows it. And for real, it's not a good way to live. Americans, I tell you, don't ever let socialism take over your country. It will be over for you. You need to work your way in this life. I work 7 days a week.
Really?
And it's not enough for me to keep going. That is not a way to live. And if I go to the hospital, there's no way they can treat me right because there's too much put in it. Too much chief, not enough Indian. So when you go there, if it's not serious enough, they say to you, take your things and go back to your home.
Wow.
And call this number or that number. Every time you call this number or that number, nothing happens. Because they all take this money and they don't put it where they're supposed to be. They say they put $1 billion every week in the hospital thing, which is not true at all.
Yeah.
You go there, it's like a 1970s place. It smells like, everything is not good.
Yeah.
You can be treated. If I got cancer right now, I cannot go to the hospital because they can't treat me. So I will be obligated to take my money that I pay already for that hospital, and I will go to the U.S. to be treated, which is not, it's unbelievable. How did I pay all of this, and I got to take my own money to go to the U.S. to be treated? That is not okay, man. And that's a socialist country. Government runs everything.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy.
Example. The e-cigarettes. I know it's like bad example, but the e-cigarettes, electronic cigarettes.
Uh-huh.
It was a private business. But since the government cannot do money with them, they made rules to make sure that these people will be unable to sell them. That meaning they leave all the taste, like the fruit taste and all that, it's gone. You cannot sell something with fruit taste. But you can. So what happened? All those companies shut down because nobody wants those e-cigarettes that taste like cigarettes.
Right.
They stopped smoking cigarettes to have something less, and it's not, but you know what I mean.
Yep.
But the government, since they don't make money with that, they make rules. So when everything is gone, they take over, and now they sell it. You know? It's the same thing with the lottery, the same thing with the alcohol, the same thing with marijuana, the same thing with e-cigarettes. So they take all this vice and they sell it to you. And after that, you know, it's so easy to deceive people. Once they're so high on pot, they can't even think for themselves.
Yeah, true.
Another example, the schools are the government runs the schools. So what happened? The teachers had enough. So they go on the streets and they protest. Do you know why they protest? To have more money. So when they able to have more money, guess who paying that? Me, with my tax. They're paid like $100,000 a year. I work 7 days a week, and I don't do that money.
Right.
How these people are not okay with that?
Spoiled.
It's crazy, man.
Spoiled, corrupt people and spoiled, corrupt government. What a
Since
mess.
they're so spoiled, they cannot think for themselves. So since they're at time, when there's a problem, the only people who can help you for them is the government. So all they do is, government, please, help me, please, help me, please. So what happened, you think? Taxpayer pay the price for those people who cannot do for themselves. And that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's a socialist country, man.
That's wild, man. And you know what?
Wow,
America,
you cannot imagine.
America is already quite socialist, but it's not to that. It's not to that level. But it is definitely sinking ever further into the depths. That's a whole lot of injustice. How you feel? Let me ask how you feel about it.
I don't feel great about it, but what can I do, man?
Yeah.
One man cannot destroy a whole army.
Right.
It's impossible.
True.
It's like the men who were in front of the tanks, like in China. I don't know what the hell it. Well, sorry, I don't know what was happening there, but the men didn't do nothing.
Right.
He died from nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
That guy, that one man, that lone man in Tiananmen Square, I think it was just a propaganda photo. I don't think it did anything.
I think so too.
Yeah. So
man.
you don't feel great about it. Are you frustrated?
I told this to everybody.
Yeah.
See yourself. Do your own thing. Think for yourself. Stop thinking that the government will help you. They're not helping you.
Right.
They make money on your back and they laugh at you.
Yeah. Yeah,
He
they
was
just
supposed
pretend
to
like
build
they're
the
going to help.
bridge between two cities. That was his promise to be elected. He never did it. And he put, instead of that, he built a car battery manufactured that nobody asked. But this man will do a lot of money on it. And he knows it because he paid it with his money before he paid it with the taxpayers' money. So his interest will go to the roof. And who gets paying for that? Me. Another time.
They're just making stuff more and more expensive by subsidizing it.
Yeah.
And corrupting
the minimum wage over there is 15 and 50. I know you don't think you don't believe in minimum wage.
Right.
But 15 and 50, it's like being on welfare, man.
Yeah.
As it is right now, because all the tax you have to pay.
Yep.
And you know they banned all the gun over here. You can't even buy a gun.
That's crazy.
Even the people with the permit to buy a gun, when you go to the shop and trying to buy a gun, the cashier will tell you, well, we'll need to talk to the GRC, Gendarmerie Royale. It's like the police of the federal state.
Yeah.
We'll ask them, and we'll call you in 3 days. 3 months later, no response.
That's
the only time you will be able to have a gun over here is if you have it before the law.
Yeah.
Or if you're a hunter, even there it's pretty difficult. If you put on the paper that you want to protect yourself, it's over for you. You will never have a gun in your life.
That's crazy. That's insane. It's an open-air prison. It reminds me of what the people said. Some of the whites and others, liberals too, have said that Palestine is an open-air prison. And that sounds like what Canada is, an open-air prison. All these socialist countries, they don't want you free. They want you dependent on them.
Yes, because that's how they make their money. It's not
Nugget Man, though, says...
not the company.
Nugget Man says...
offer service.
Nugget Man is a Canadian.
Sorry.
He says, we do have guns. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's not true, Hake. We do have guns. He doesn't know. I don't know. I tend to believe you because I think
we can go buy guns.
Right.
But it's so difficult, man. You can't even imagine.
Yeah.
You have to get the permit way before the law. Now it's going to be cool because it's, like we say in French, un droit acquis. So it's a right you have before the law. But now you can't. It's like the AR-15 is banned in Canada.
Wow.
I got a friend who have one, but he had one before the law.
Yeah.
But now he cannot sell it. He cannot bring it. He cannot do anything with it. He got to let it sit on this in his case.
Sounds like California, communist California.
Even when you go to the shooting range, you have to call the police, tell them you had a gun, tell them the way you go, tell them which street you take, all of that. If you get caught with your gun, you can go 2 years in prison
Wow.
just because you had bring your gun with you.
That sounds like New Jersey. That's terrible, man. Not good.
Who said that? I don't know who said that, but it's pretty sure he don't live in Canada, man.
He's
That's for
supposedly Canadian. Somebody doxed him as a Canadian. Nugget Man. I think he may even be French Canadian. I could be wrong.
Yes, I know he's French Canadian. He's French Canadian.
Yeah.
But no, man, it's pretty hard. I don't have a gun.
believe you,
I cannot
man.
have a gun. It's over. Canada is over.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do with it, and that's the problem. Since we are so deep in that, if we had to stop it all, we'll be in such a mess. It will be destruction.
Yep.
And that's what they want. They want to control you. They don't want you to have an opinion. You know, there was avortement, how do we say that? Like when they kill babies.
Yeah.
How do we?
Abortion?
How do you say that in English?
Abortion.
Abortion.
Yep.
There was a march for a protest for anti-abortion, and you know what? The government shut it down because it's not for them. It's not it's not a Canadian value to be
Wow.
against abortion.
That sounds like New
But
York. There's a guy.
There was a Palestinian protest in Ottawa, and guess what? The police gave them coffee and donuts to help them keep the day going.
Yeah.
What they did to the truckers?
Right.
They slammed them. They papered them. They name it. Where do we going, man?
Wow.
I wish the U.S. take over Canada for real. Like invade Canada. Do something.
Yeah.
I'll be with you, man. All the way.
You sound frustrated, and I understand it.
I'm not frustrated because I'm not, I don't let this take over my life. I
Good.
keep going, I keep working, I keep doing my thing. Maybe
Right on.
I'll be an example for others.
For sure. Right on.
But you know what you want to do. Maybe one day I'll move to the U.S. with you.
Right. like the Anchor Baby did.
Yeah. And that's the best move he did in his life. Trust me.
I think you're right about that
the
one.
best country in this side of heaven, and that's for real. Never let the government tell you what to do. You are so privileged, American. Please don't let me down, man. I'm with you all the way.
Well, right on, Michael in Canada. It's great to hear from you, man.
Yes, can I ask you something? Can you say some, like 3 words in French? Can you say that?
Maybe? Sure.
It's good words. Like, how are you? Comment ça va?
Comment ça va?
Bonjour. Bonjour.
Bonjour. Nice.
So cool, man. I love it when English people trying to speak French. It's so hard.
Nice. I like it when French people speak English.
Oh, I'm not good, but you taking my call, so I'm maybe not that bad.
Right. I can understand you.
Oh, that's cool, man.
What-
And I want to know, why does Hassan doesn't have a show anymore? I mean, he speaks clear and loud. It was cool, man. I thought he was a cool guy.
Yo, he's just on hiatus.
On what?
Hiatus. He's on a break.
What?
He's just.
Okay.
Yeah, we just have him on a
Okay.
break from the network anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yep.
Well, have a nice day, Hake.
Thank
God
you,
bless
Michael.
you.
You too.
And keep it going, America. We love you.
Nice. Thank you for the love.
America. Yes.
Right on, man.
Let's go down to Trump 2024.
Indeed. Take care.
Yes, bye.
Bye. Guys, we are past the top of the hour. I will get to your calls. I do see them, and I will get right to you. It's time for Fob Friday. That's right. Andy Lau. Oh, and this is a Andy Lau classic. I don't even know what it is. I'll have to Shazam it later. But enjoy the Chinese, one of the 4 kings of Canto Pop, Mr. China himself, Andy Lau. It's so 90s or 80s or something. I'll be right back for the rest of hour 2. Your calls and More fun stuff, hopefully. See you soon.
長路，曾獨自孤身走遠方，行得到他跟我流浪。儘管沾一個譏笑的眼光，也輕鬆地對望，不需擔心，不必抵抗。棲身風冷中。與他彼此點起這愛火，用火的光高唱愛歌，用溫暖給我的曙光，擦亮了希望，用堅決的信心告別了失望。雖知失意漂泊，一切可憑愛心替代。是深信深愛心似海，可信任這份愛，亦相信相愛也可接受與忍耐。萬載用熱誠來等待。深信深愛心似海，可信任這份愛，亦相信相愛也可接受與忍耐。傾出一片真摯不變心，融化這障礙。
So good.
棲身風冷中，與他彼此點起這愛火，用火的光高唱愛歌，用溫暖給我的曙光，擦亮了希望，用堅決的信心告別了失望。雖知失意漂泊，一切可憑愛心替代。
So good.
是深信深愛心似海，可信任這份愛，亦相信相愛也可接受與忍耐。萬載用熱誠來等待。似海，可信任這份愛。
I have a headache now.
亦相信相愛也可接受與忍耐。傾出一片真摯不變心，融化這障礙。
Thank you for your love, Country by Andy Lau. Well, thank you guys for bearing with me through that beautiful, my opinion, music. Thank you for your love by Andy Lau. Country, parentheses, right? Thank you for your love. Super chatters, hang tight. I will get to you. I got to get to of air and sea, of air and sea in Utah. How you doing, of Aaron C? It's good to hear from you, man.
What is goody? What is goody? So yeah, I was trying to hop on yesterday to address this whole. I know I'm kind of late on it. I know it's a couple days ago that you guys were covering it. As far as this whole just sit around and a female will fall on your lap, just follow God and a dime piece is just going to come to you. Is that?
Oh, you're cutting out there. What are you saying? Of Aaron C. Your phone is messed up. Let me put you on hold here for a second there, and we'll see. His phone cut out there for a second. In the meantime, let me read my super chats. I guess that's what I get for not going right to the super chats. Over on DLive.tv/The Hake Report. Shall I open the treasure chest for you guys? These redheaded stepchildren while I'm thinking about it? Yes. Let's do it. Treasure chest is opening on DLive. So click the chest, you redheaded stepchildren. Dijon Paw donated a diamond saying, "Second Friday of the year, Hank. You're doing great, kid." Triple or quadruple? Triple exclamation mark. Nice. Thank you, Dijon Paw. Okay, I think of Aaron C is ready. I'll get back to the rest of the coffees in later in the show, right? Okay. Of Aaron C in Utah. Are you there now?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can indeed. Are you on the road or something? You went out of service?
I'm actually driving.
Oh, okay.
I'm driving to Vegas, man. It does get a little choppy, man. But
Vegas,
anyway,
baby. Vegas.
Yup, it's Sin City, But anyway, so yeah, were you able to hear me at all in that last one, or?
You started to talk about if you just don't do anything at all, a dime piece, meaning a beautiful girl, will fall into your lap, and then you cut out there. I didn't hear the rest of it.
Yeah, is that what you guys have been spitting? Is that kind of what Jesse was saying? Just focus on God, don't pursue women at all, and one will magically come to you. Is that somewhat accurate?
If the qualifier, it's almost accurate. Yes, but the qualifier is if it's meant to be.
Okay, because the only reason why is as a man, I would say it's our goal, one of our goals. You have to pursue the things that you want in life. Anything that you do want, you will have to pursue.
Oh, okay.
At least to some degree, right? I mean, do you agree?
Sort of, yeah. Yep, I do.
And again, the reason why I say
I agree.
I got some pretty good evidence here because if you look at there's a particular church that I attend sometimes. I'm not going to say what church that is because I'll get flamed in the chat probably. But I noticed at that church, all the girls, especially the young girls, they say that it's like the guys are scared of them.
Yeah.
In this particular sect of Christianity, the guys are kind of dorky, and they don't have much experience with women. And
there's no H. You don't have to pronounce it women. But anyway.
You know how the game goes.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, so these young girls, the women, they're complaining that the young men do not pursue them, that they don't mack on them. And so every time I do, attend that church or I meet people of this particular faith, I tell them, look, you need to pursue these women. If you want a wife, a family, et cetera, if you want all that to blossom, you got to pursue them. This idea that you just sit on the sidelines and just think that magically you're going. This is romantic. This is rom-com stuff. This is romantic movie type stuff. That it's just magically going to happen if it's meant to be. I mean, do you feel me, my brother?
I sort of do. I think you may be in your head, in your imagination, misinterpreting what it means that it'll happen naturally. Because sometimes we don't actually know what we want. We don't know if Joel Friday is chomping at the bit. Joel, you can come in here if you want. He's chatting up a storm on this. But let me give you my take. You don't necessarily know if this gal who strikes your fancy is, you can cross, it's charming. You don't know if this gal who strikes your fancy is not the one, but a decent woman who really will obey you. So you gotta keep your wits about you and not want her like that. Not think of it in that way. Granted, you're gonna naturally, abnormally think of her in that way, this sex way and the future way. But realize that that's getting into your imagination, because most of the time, people who do get married or who get with a woman, their life goes from bad to worse.
Yeah, but again, I mean, I see what you're saying, but like quantity, like you would have to.
I agree with. If you say a girl strikes your fancy, and you want to talk to her, but you don't, that's on you because you're scared or something. That's not what we're talking about. That you should talk to a girl if you want to talk to her.
Okay, I just could have swore JLP the other day on his show. I just could have swore he said, don't worry about pursuing women at all. Just worry about your relationship with God, and something will magically blossom. In his generation, that may have been the case. But in our generation, I mean, that's just not the case, and that's just not a good way or strategy of, because I understand what you're saying. You have to screen them, keep their wits about you.
Right.
I get that, but the only thing you can do is just date a fair, a good quantity of women, and then hopefully you find someone of quality.
We got to unmute Joel Friday here.
Oh, no, Aaron C. No, not at all. You're not supposed to chase any of them at all. And like James said, and maybe
not chase. It's not chase.
It is.
I mean, chase is like,
it is chasing if you're thinking about pursuing them in all this kind of way.
Yeah. What do you mean by pursue? In short, before Joel goes further.
Well, just give an example. Like in church, if you fancy a certain gal, then I mean, you should just go mack on her.
What do you mean by mack on her?
Nah.
Macking. I think of macking as kissing. You mean kissing?
Nah.
You mean go up to her and just kiss her like Trump said that he did allegedly?
My brother.
Or you just mean like talk to her and introduce yourself. Hey, I'm James. You want to go for a date?
Yeah, macking is just the act of talking to women. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess you could say
pursue just means I'm interested in that. Let me go pursue that, and then not chase her around if she starts to if she doesn't respond.
Chasing is simping. That's no.
Okay, go ahead, Joel.
Not.
Yeah, I mean, I still disagree with the idea of that. You even have to go all your way and mack them down and pursue them in that way and talk to different girls. Like, that shouldn't even be the focus at all. Obviously, it is our focus, human nature, guys. In general, we tend to lean towards that type of thing. But it will absolutely 100% land in your lap if you're not paying attention. And the one that lands in your lap magically, like you say, will be the one that tends to stick around longer, or you'll have a better relationship with them, those ones that come magically. And it does come that way. So I don't understand. I don't know if you haven't experienced that.
Are you married, of Aaron C?
No, I'm not married, and I know what Joel means to agree. I mean, sometimes they will be choosing. Sometimes they will, but I notice the quality women, the higher quality women, especially Christian women, that do have a good relationship with God. Those are the kind that you, as a man, you will have to initiate that.
No. But go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Initiate what?
That you would have to initiate that, meeting them. I guess the pursuit, as men, don't we go get what we want? Ain't that what we do in life?
Not always. Like, for example, I got my show. I didn't want it. I didn't even know I wanted it. It wasn't my idea. And I followed the opportunity, though.
Good point.
You sometimes follow the opportunities. I thought I wanted to be fast running, distance running, and track. I never did that. So
hey,
you get cockamamie ideas in your head, and you don't know what you want.
Do you know the percentage of men that just abstain and like don't date women at all.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like more than half.
I bet you it's more now, and probably partly because they're into pornography and they're encouraged to be shy and think that that's cute.
And my advice, shouldn't our advice, again, it says, I don't even think this even has so much to do with religion. I mean, I think shouldn't our advice be go be social, go mack on these broads? Isn't that like healthy advice? Isn't that not good advice?
Can I say a point?
He keeps on saying Mac. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. I have a friend, and a friend of mine does that same exact thing. And every time he tells me the story about him, it's always the same conclusion. He meets them, he goes out with them, and he pursues them. He's the one that in your words, he goes max on them and does his whole thing, and he gets them, but it always ends up in sexual activity. Always ends up in sexual activity because what drove him to go get him in the first place was lust. So you're going to, 9 times out of 10, matter of fact, 10 times out of 10, you're going to end up going there with the girl because you're driven by that in the first place. That's like an atheist mind state, though, right? Me, if I want a family, if I want to get married and have a family, I wouldn't consider that lust. That's just on the agenda. No, right. That's a good point. But the foundation of your relationship won't be lust, meaning that won't be the general intention. When you seek the girl out yourself, that's the foundation of your relationship, lust. When it's added on top of you, meaning God adds it and it falls into your lap, then there's a connection there, a genuine connection, and then the secondary connection is the lust. So that's why you're not supposed to chase it, because you're going to end up falling victim to the whole sexual. And my friend, that was his story over and over and over and over and over and over, same thing. So I don't know if that's the right answer, man.
Could you define falling on your lap though? Like me, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm in my mid-30s. It's about time to settle down. So at this age, you're saying that, you know, because I feel like a wolf up in church. I mean, there's all kinds of cuties in there, right? You're telling me that I should just not, I shouldn't, you know.
Yeah.
Hey,
you should do what you see to do, Ever and C. You shouldn't just follow my advice or Joel's advice or JLP's advice. You know that. You gotta do what you see to do.
I see what you're saying, Hake, but the reason why I call in is because it's for the listeners out there. You know, because if there's young men out there, I disagree wholeheartedly. I think that I understand what you're saying, like Joel's saying. They shouldn't pursue them in like a lust way, you know, just to like, you know, get one out or whatever. I get that. I totally understand that. But as far as to just not, maybe I misunderstood Jesse. You know, to me it just sounded like. It sounded to me like his overall theme was don't worry about women at all.
But you don't even know if you have this idea that you're in your mid-30s, it's about time to settle down. But you don't know that. You're not God. Just because it's time in general for men in general, by that point, most men have it settled down. It doesn't mean that your life is was meant to go like that or is going to go like that.
I mean, it's just the natural order, ain't it, that God created, right? I mean,
no, because every man's life doesn't necessarily go that way.
Yeah, but I would say if a guy's 60 years old or in their 50s and never had a family and kids, me personally, I'd look at them as they took a L. They done lost, right?
Oh well, then you have a. They may have, but you have a judgment. But you have no idea whether that was a. You have no idea whether that was an L or a win.
No, I know it was an L for sure. His genes aren't being passed on. He failed to follow the natural order that God created for him. It's definitely an L. And the most spiritual.
So wait.
People that I see
Did Jesus?
That are glowing, they have beautiful families.
Hold on. Did Jesus take an L? He died at 30. I don't think he made any kids or got with any woman.
Well, no, he didn't take L because we still speak of his name to this day. So
so maybe that
he's like the biggest celebrity ever. No.
Yeah. He's a Chad.
You know what I'm saying?
If I can.
But anyway, I mean, I won't hold up.
No. I want to hear Joel jump in with his last point.
Just really.
Because you have this idea of winning based on getting a woman, and I get and passing your name down. Okay, I get it. But that's not necessarily.
God tells me to start a family. That's the last chapter. That's the only thing that's missing in my life. That's what I feel like. That's what God is telling me what to do. I don't think he wants me to die a single guy chasing materialism instead of, you know what I mean?
You don't trust God to provide that for you?
I mean, it's been a long time, and I've been through a lot of women, my man. And
So were you following God going through those women?
No, I wasn't looking in the right places at all, man. I wasn't in the church. I was, out in the streets.
Well,
so,
my quick question for you, though, is that what exactly are you going to be doing different if you were chasing all these women before and it wasn't working? What exactly are you going to be doing different now if you're still going to be chasing them as well?
Well, this time there's higher intentions of starting a family, I would say, where in the past I'd say, I used to live a very hedonistic lifestyle. There's more for pleasure, lust, to feed that lust, like you were saying. But now I think the mission is kind of changed in a way. And if I'd have met a good Christian woman back in the day, I'm pretty sure I would have settled down by now. But if they're not Christian, they're pretty much just trash. And I know y'all feel me on that. Let's just keep it a stack, right?
How about you? Were you trash?
In my younger days, I guess. I mean, they're having that player phase in my younger days, maybe. But other than that, for the last 10 years, I've been looking for honest love. But I lived in SoCal.
But you've been looking for love.
Yeah.
Doesn't the Bible say seek first the kingdom of God?
Well, I've already seeked that. I mean, so.
Oh, you finished seeking? you sought and found, and now you're seeking a woman because God told you to seek a woman.
Y'all are so. This is what the anchor baby. This is how he gets so philosophical, man. You guys are really philosophical.
It's not that. It's just that your mindset looks.
Man.
You seem to be basing your life worth on whether you get this family,
right?
And.
No, I won't say all that. No, I'm the man regardless. No, I'm not saying that.
Okay, all right. So just be the man.
I just think the stat of 50%, or I think it's like 60% of dudes, don't interact with women.
Do you interact with them though?
Yeah, I have slowed down though. I'm not. I do take it easy though. As far as dating, etc. I no longer. It's hard to fight it. Best thing I can suggest is hitting the gym, to take care of that lustful urge, just wear yourself out in the gym. Because I do have high testosterone. Every time I take a blood test, they tell me that.
Okay.
So it is difficult for me. I'm not
to
gonna
avoid
lie.
the sex out of wedlock. You're saying.
Yeah.
Right.
But I have slowed down, and I am looking for the right thing. But the thing is I don't know. I just think family's just that important. And there's a reason why I feel this way, guys. It's because I do live in the Holy Land now, and I see.
Utah.
Large, beautiful white families all over,
right?
And I just see how happy they are when I see these moms with 10 kids. They're happy, man.
I got you. Go ahead.
But anyway,
Joel.
just one last final thing. So you guys made the silent prayer in Spanish.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. I just slightly disavow that. I just
you don't want the Spanish people, Spanish speakers, to become Christians.
No, whenever you translate stuff like that, especially something as sacred to us as the silent prayer, I mean, it's just given into the invasion. I strongly disavow. I'm sure there's some people in the chat that will agree.
Oh, okay. All right. No worries, man.
Other than that, man, that's it, man. Y'all take it easy.
All right. Thank you, Avarency. Good to hear from you. I hung up because I didn't want the click. I just didn't want to click. Oh.
Wait.
Go ahead, Joel.
The audio engineer not in the building. What the? Where'd he go?
He left it. He left the room. I think he thought that we were going to talk
Cut his
for
pay.
the rest of the...
Cut his pay.
Can you take Joel off the camera?
Get off camera.
Joel wants his leave.
What the?
Thanks for your input, Joel Friday.
Yeah, thanks,
James. Jeff in Louisiana is on the line. What's up, Jeff in Louisiana? How you doing?
Pretty good, man. How about yourself today, Hake?
Doing well, thank you.
I just had a quick question for you based on that last call. Y'all think as a woman's supposed to, or a relationship or a woman, whatever, is supposed to fall in your lap? Can you explain how y'all come up with that idea when you're single Jesse single, Joel single, Nick single, and no one had a woman and got kicked off the show?
How do you know? You don't know our lives? And maybe it's not meant to be that way. You think that every man is meant to be with a woman? And you agree with the caller that that's an L? I didn't say they'll fall into your lap, but there's many reasons that men do or do not are not with somebody. Are you with somebody, Jeff, in Louisiana?
It's wrong. Currently, no, but I have been,
And so, what's the difference? All of us have been as well.
I don't believe that, but okay.
Oh, okay. You don't believe that we've all been with women before, like dated and had girlfriends and stuff like that?
You know, to be honest, not being rude, but to be honest, no, I do not.
Oh, okay. Well, why do you care? Why are you so interested in that? Do you think that people are taking our advice and it's bad advice, or what? What's your beef?
You're putting words in my mouth now.
You're putting words in my mouth. I never said the woman was going to follow into our lap, but what's your beef?
Y'all just said that. Y'all rewind the show 2 minutes. Y'all just said that.
I said if it's meant to be.
Rewind the show 2 minutes. Y'all just
I
said
never
that.
said into the lap, but anyway, we all know what I said.
Man. Okay, man. You try to backtrack everything you say. So
what did I say? What's your beef?
Man, you say you never said nothing when you just said it. You didn't say into my lap.
What's your beef? What's your beef with the advice about not chasing after women?
I don't have a beef with that, but I'm saying y'all.
And what's the beef? What's your beef with our personal lives, whether we're with a woman or not?
Y'all try to give everybody advice and tell people what's wrong, and y'all don't know what's wrong. Or what's right,
is our advice wrong?
I don't know if it's wrong or right. You don't know if it's right either, but you say it's right every time. So that's the point. You can't.
So you don't even know that it's wrong, but you're beefing over it.
But you cannot tell somebody that that's wrong.
Yes, I can.
You don't know yourself.
I know both firsthand.
Did JLP tell you to say that?
No, I know firsthand that it's wrong.
JLP told you to say that, didn't he? Yeah, JLP told you to say that.
You're in your imagination. You're in your head, Jeff, in Louisiana.
How am I in my
I know
head?
he's going to click me. I know he's going to click me.
I'm not clicking you. I'm still talking to you.
Okay. I know that you are in your head because you're thinking that JLP told me to say something that JLP did not tell me to say. You don't believe that we've all dated women for some odd reason, Jeff in Louisiana. And you don't know that you don't know both firsthand experience and biblically speaking and just common sense. It's wrong to be revolving your life around women.
I didn't say chasing women. You're saying not to even go with the women. You're saying falling in your lap, or not quote what you said, but essentially you said fall in your lap. You don't just sit there and wait on something to happen in life. If you want something, go get it. That's the way life works. If you sit there and wait around all the time in life, you don't know.
You're in your head just like the other caller is in his head about what it means.
You're in JLP's head, man. I ain't gonna click you, but goodbye.
Goodbye. He did click me. What a mess. I can't be in somebody else's head. I don't think he knows what being in your head means. John in Kentucky is on the line. Kentucky John, how you doing, man?
Man, that last caller, he was absolutely correct. As dumb as he sounds with his twang, he's right, man.
What's he right about?
The choice. That we all have the choice. You know, if you want to get a woman and go start a family, then you do it. Like, you make the choice to do it. You don't just sit around and say, oh, God will just throw somebody in my lap and we'll get married and have kids. It doesn't work that way.
That's called a scarecrow, a straw man.
That's only in y'all's little religion that y'all got going on. Y'all's branch of Christianity.
You don't even know. You don't even know the position.
What do you mean?
Our position is, don't chase after a woman. Don't be like looking for a woman.
Yeah, but see, that don't make sense, man. See,
yes, it does make sense.
If you don't look, how you gonna get a woman?
Because you're gonna see a woman. You see women in your normal life. Do you not see women in your normal life? How do you come across your wife?
By socializing with her and getting to know her.
No. How'd you come across her before you met her? How did you first meet her?
Oh, work.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, but
that's called life.
No, man. No. You still have to get to know her and determine whether you want to make her your girl or not. You know what I mean? Y'all just want to sit back. Y'all just want to sit back and let a miracle happen that ain't gonna never happen.
Now you're in your head. Right. You're not making any sense. You're pretending. No, because you don't even know what it is.
Sense. I do know what it is. I guarantee you, all your callers disagree with you on this subject. Well, what's
my position? Can you even state my position?
Your position is whatever JLP says, and JLP says to don't seek a woman, don't search out a woman, that to seek God, and God will. I want to use the word magically make it happen if it's supposed to happen.
So that's three callers who don't believe in God.
Why is that?
Because you're attributing it to magic rather than to God and normal life.
Just because I use the word magic, I could use something else, man.
Yeah, because you're in your head about what JLP says, what I'm saying, what Joel Friday's saying.
Hey, look, man, just admit it, man. You're wrong, man. You're wrong.
You don't even know what I'm. You don't even know what I'm. You don't even know what my position is.
I just told you, and it's okay to look at things differently.
Did I ever say magic?
You don't have to say magic, man. Look,
because you don't believe in God. God, you don't believe that your life works out.
Magic, man.
Do you believe that life works out? Joel did say magic. I mean, he said.
Yes, but I mean, you still have to make your decisions all through the day, all through the week, all through the month, all through the year. So, I mean, you make decisions. That's what life is. I made the decision to ask this girl out and get to know her and to ask her to marry me. I made that decision. But I ain't going to sit back because it's not natural, man. The natural instinct of a man or any other male animal is to find you someone to share your life with and mate with. You have to procreate and keep rebuilding, replenish the earth. You have to do that.
Why do you have to do that?
Y'all ain't helping none, man. We need help out here.
Why do you have to do that?
You gonna help us, Hake?
Why do you have to do that?
Because it's natural instinct, man.
I know, but that's not how every man's life worked.
Yeah, but do you find that it's a coincidence that all y'all live the same type of life as far as thinking about how to go get a woman?
Yes, it's a coincidence.
It's a big coincidence. A big coincidence.
You have no idea about our lives.
Not Chris. What's the other guy's name that works for y'all now? The new guy that answers the phone.
Sean?
Yeah. Has he shared his perspective on what you're talking about? Because he has like 2 daughters and a wife, right? He has a family.
Sean has 2 daughters and a wife?
No, yeah, I'm asking.
No, where are you getting this, man? Why are you and Jeff in Louisiana so interested in our lives?
Because, man, it's like y'all live inside.
It sounds like you don't. It sounds like you don't really have. You don't really know for sure that your life is really the way that what you believe is really true.
Hey,
because you're trying to judge our lives.
Hey, I've been single. I won't change it. I won't change being married for the world.
I'm not saying you should.
I'm supposed to be married. I'm a family man. I'm a family man. My dad was a family man.
Why are you worrying about us?
I'm not worrying about you. I'm just telling you you're wrong. You try to push your ideals on other people.
But you don't even know what my ideals are.
You're pushing them in the wrong direction.
The wrong direction is to seek God?
Yeah. No, see, you see how you flipped that and worded the way you worded it?
That's all I'm saying is seek God.
You're telling people not to go out and search for a woman.
Yeah, because you should seek God.
Yeah, but you can seek God and go search for a woman. You can pray that God puts a woman.
When you came across that gal at work, were you searching for a woman, or did you just inherently kind of wanted a woman.
Well, at that age, I inherently wanted a woman.
See, you weren't searching for it.
I wanted multiple women at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if I'm attracted to a woman, I make the first move, though, like that guy says, putting his mack on. I don't say that stupid stuff, but put your mack on or whatever. So you gotta, if you want this girl that you see with your eyes and she's beautiful to you and you like her personality, you need to step up and say something to her.
Isn't that what I said in my conversation with of Aaron C? If you see a gal whom you want to talk to, you should go talk to her.
Okay, but hey,
ain't no buts.
You know what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Is you guys are in your head about what I'm saying.
Oh man, yeah, y'all just getting too old, man. Y'all need to get y'all some women, man. It's gonna be too late. You're gonna look up. You're gonna be 60 years old, and you're gonna have regret. You're gonna be living a lonely life, Hake.
Whatever, John.
I mean, that's
don't worry about me.
I'm not personally worried about you. I'm just telling you what's gonna happen.
But you don't know what's gonna happen.
I do know what's gonna happen.
A whole lot of people get married and they regret that because that's the wrong way to go.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And a whole lot of people get married and feel like they made the best choice they could ever make. Right.
And a whole lot of times that's cope. It's coping.
That's what?
Cope. They're coping.
And see, that's 100% your opinion, right?
No, that's not 100% my opinion. No, it's not, because you hear these grown men.
The truth, man.
You hear these grown men say, "Oh, she's the boss," or whatever. "Oh, she's a good woman."
Well, those are some stupid men, then.
Right. And they're coping when they say, "Oh, it's the best decision I made."
So you mean like when men allow women to feel like they have some type of say?
Yeah, because they're weak.
All men do that. I do that.
Right.
But when it's time to put your foot down, we know. I mean, you got to give her a little bit of room. You don't want her to feel like a freaking slave, you know. For real.
Right.
That's good advice, Hake.
Nice.
You should take it from John from Kentucky.
All right. Thank you, Kentucky John. Take care.
All right, now.
Bye. Asia is a first-time caller from New York. How you doing, Asia?
Hey, Hake.
Hey.
It's let me pick you off the speaker 1 second. Yes, hello?
Hey.
Yay. So I had a question for you guys because you guys talk about, like, the reason men should be married and stuff like that. But what if it's, like, medically impossible for the man to have children of his own? Is that God's way of saying he should never be married and should remain a bachelor for the rest of his life?
I don't know. I don't think of it like that. Because a lot of times, how is the man going to know that he can't have kids, or how is a woman going to know that she can't have kids, unless some doctors? I don't understand this doctor stuff where they figure out that you can't have kids. You got some.
I mean,
so
the doctors say
most of the time.
God has
seems like most of the time you find out after you get married and try to have kids that you can't. Right?
I mean, that's how it's supposed to go.
What do you mean?
I mean, you can find out before because, you could be in a long-term relationship and, you've been having sex with this person. Or,
yeah.
Don't say sex, kids, sorry. But, yeah, so you can, be dealing with this person and, 5 years has gone by and nothing's happened. Or you could have had an operation when you were a child or something like that.
Right.
And the doctors say this is going to prevent you from having children in the future.
Yeah.
Are you not supposed to, want to be married or look to be married or?
I don't know. I know that the purpose of marriage is to become a father and mother and raise your children.
Yeah.
I think at least that's the main purpose that I think of with marriage. I know that a whole lot of people just want to have the S word, sex. And so they're and there's this passage in the Bible that says if you can't control yourself, get married or whatever. But I think that you're stepping into hell that way. Because I don't know.
Oh, well, is Joel still there?
No, he went back out.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I wanted
I don't
to
know.
add.
I'm not. I'm not God that I say that's a message from God, because I don't know, God has changed people's situations. There's been barren women who've been able to have babies, at least in the Bible, thanks to God. And you hear all the time of these people getting these hormones.
Let me ask you this. Do you think it's wrong for a man to marry a woman who has children already, whether he can have kids or not?
I kind of do. I personally think it's wrong to do that, to be getting involved with someone who already has children. Because it's kind of...
And why?
Because I see it as kind of like a divorce and remarriage type of thing. You're not supposed to divorce and remarry. That's like adultery.
Okay, because you're assuming that the woman was married to the person she had children with.
Well, basically, it's not like it's kind of like whether she, quote unquote, got married or not. I see her as having been... Like she's married to that person now. I kind of saw it when I was younger and learning this Christian stuff in the Bible and all that. I saw sex as marriage. Like the first person that you have the S word with, okay, you're married to that one now.
Right.
I mean, right. I don't believe in having the sex without doing the marriage thing, because you should do the marriage thing and then have the sex. Do it in an orderly way. So I've just felt like that, for one, and then the kids want their real parents. They can
still have their real parents on the weekends.
That's a messed up life, and you know it. We don't want to accept imperfection just because that's what it is. Just because we're lustful, and want to get with, don't want to be alone or whatever.
Right.
Because life is so much more than just sex or marriage or having a family and all that stuff. It's
what else
like
is it,
now.
Hake? What else is it?
It's right now.
What does that mean?
It means just whatever you're doing right now. That's what you got to be doing. You don't have to be having the back of your mind as you're talking on the phone with Hake, or as you're fixing food or whatever, or cleaning your whatever this thing is, tentacled being. You don't have to be like, oh, I got a wife back home. Oh, I got kids back home. That's not life. That's just aspects of a portion of your life. Because at some point, those kids are gonna grow up and leave. At some point, your husband is gonna die, or you're gonna die, and in heaven, according to Jesus, people are neither married. Men and women are neither married nor given in marriage, according to Jesus in the Bible. So life is not that. You're supposed to overcome all that.
If you feel like if your spouse dies, that you shouldn't remarry, no matter what.
Oh, you can, yeah. That's the only reason that's the only time you can remarry is if your husband dies.
Oh, so like.
Because otherwise, because that's not a divorce.
If they had a mental death, if they had a mental, like you gave them a mental funeral, like you don't speak to them, you don't see them. And,
that's not death. That's not real death, though. That's just malice and unfaithfulness. You're dead to me. Oh. That's not real death. You're not a real widow.
You're dead to me. I'm saying. All right. So I just wanted to know the answer to that, because I hear you guys say that a lot. And I'm like, what about the kids that like their parents died, like they don't deserve to have like, a father figure, or like.
Oh, they don't want that.
Can't have children.
I don't think they necessarily want or need that. No, because father figure is a liberal word. I think just father is the word. They want their father. If the father's dead, then they understand their father died. What can they do?
Okay. All right.
But say the father died, and the mother wants to get married again. She can, because she's not bound. It's till death do us part. The physical death do us part.
What if she was the one, like she poisoned her husband?
Yeah, then that's wrong. That's messed up. She should.
She wants a new husband, but she wants to do it the right way.
I think she should get the death penalty, because she's not. because she just committed a murder and then she wants to get married the right way.
Okay.
That's
all right.
funny.
Well, this is amazing, Asia. Finally calling in.
It's great to hear from you. Thanks for all the support.
Perfect. No problem. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
I wish I could talk to Joel, though.
I know. Next
But
time.
okay.
Call
All
into
right.
his show Monday through Thursday, if you can.
Okay, cool.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow. Super chats from Rumble. Carver bought a coffee, but not before Sion bought a coffee. Sion Wit, Sion. When you had Jeff Charles with Earl's call and was funny. Nice. Thank you, Sion Wit, Sion. Yeah, I had Jeff Charles and Earl called in, according to Sion. I don't even remember. Carver bought a coffee. Hey, Hake. Just want to give a shout out to the Snake Pit. Tried to watch a debate last night between the other Nick, the cozy guy, and Governor Gavin McInnes of Proud Boys founder, and it was a mess. The chat was just nonstop spam. Couldn't even read it or make any sense of things. It was like animals mashing keyboards, and I turned it off. Really made me appreciate the Bond people even more. Hashtag ban the dictionary. Nice. Chris Person, 77, bought 3 coffees. John Doyle was speculating, who's been on The Fallen State with Jesse Lee Peterson, and maybe the radio show, speculating that legalizing prostitution would minimize women's social power and end the simping pandemic that's eroding the man-woman dynamic. Interesting stuff. What do you think? Offhand, I don't think I agree. Generally, when you legalize things, you're giving approval to it. And, just like you heard the Canadian talk about when the government legalized all these things and then they took over those industries and now it's like very corrupt. So John Doyle is a smart young man. So I'm not totally discounting him. Someone bought a coffee with another long super chat. Based on your response, I'll go out on a limb, say you don't agree with hiring the best qualified person. So he wants to put words in my mouth. I was just asking what you believe. You said in general the whites are the most qualified people when it comes to STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. People of Indian and Asian descent tend to excel. Those fields are the foundation that are a lot of things we rely on are built upon. You talked about risk assessment. Why dress it up? You'd rather have white people in charge, never mind the merit. You don't know me. Reminds me of people who talk, but I mean, this is a white country. It's called a nation, buddy. Buddy, it's called a nation. A nation is a people, okay? We don't need this diversity stuff. I almost said the C-R-A blank word. Reminds me of people who talk about immigration and say do it the right way, front door, etc., to make it sound good, but in reality, they don't want them to come period. That way, that too, I don't want them to come period. The right way is just a front. Okay, Mr. Someone with your coffee, just come out and call me a racist because that's what you really believe in with your phony self. Matthew on YouTube bought 3 coffees. Someone really got to make a reel with all your catchy phrases, Hake. It'd be hilarious. That's nice, Matthew on YT YouTube. Renee Ver bought a coffee. It's so easy to be a liberal when you're young, like listening to punk music. Beta. Punk is so beta. I never realized how beta it is. It's not individual. It's not truly true individualism. Anyway, they're not true individuals. And reading the beatniks and voting Dem, you just want to go against the establishment. Forget the government, he said, screw. Right? But it seems like now it is a counterculture to be conservative. That's right. All the punks are dumb liberals and going right along with the establishment. Look at Eminem. He's basically mainstream sucker, hates Trump. Because Trump is what he pretended to be. An independent person. Enemy of the enemy of the people. Enemy of the people, which means enemy of the mainstream media. Roles have switched, so ironic. It's not the same parties as before, but we grow up and work and see the gigantic scam that is taxes, grown immigrants that are, gown immigrants that are still liberal, and Democrats are a joke. Now I say, forget the government, he said, screw. And caller was right, America, F yeah. As in forget. Well, thank you guys. Man, this has been the Hake Report. It's Frog Eyes Friday. Frog Eyes are the best in Canada. This track is entitled Sound Travels from the Snow to the Dark. Hope you enjoy it. It's from the 2003 album Golden River. Adios, America. Bye.
Radiance in the airs, in the sky. It's in the portrait of blue pie. And when you cry, it hears you cry. Lullabies, la 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 la. It's in your home, the wandering road. It moves in waves, it makes room sounds from caves.
From the album Ego Scriptor.
A lovely band, a friend that's kind. It hears your
I am the
songs
writer.
when it can. Radio knows your heart. Makes a song, it sings its static upon your teeth. And in your car you feel it sing, you feel its love. It's all a best friend could have.
It's the acoustic version.
When it snows, the waves will fall and fall around your lovely skin. And from your car, you drive around, and in the dark, you see its blue light turning on and on. Ooh, radio sings a lullaby. Ooh, radio sings a
Isn't that nice? So comforting.
Radio became a skull, a Tory pitch, a night of rot and burning hiss. And when you lie, you miss the sky, and through your roof comes a hidden signal of things gone wrong. So harden treason, find a reason, drink your water, for la 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 la. 'Cause radio sleeps, it's run by creeps, it clicks and beeps, it sings the tunes of crooks and cheats.
Thank you. Taking care of business, Bear. Misty.
And in your car you felt it sing, you felt its love. It's all a best friend could have. And from the sky, when it snowed, the waves would fall and fall around your lovely skin. From your car you drove around, and in the dark,
Carrie Mercer.
light,
So talented.
Sing a lullaby. Sing a radio sings a lullaby.
Adios, America. Bye.